Good day buddies. In today's video, we'll be making a bioactive ant farm, which we haven't able to do for a while now. But anyway, we have a bad news for July. Cause I didn't catch any queen ants this month yet, cause it's almost raining every day in my area, since the last week of June. I'm sure no nuptial flight is happening here, anytime soon. But luckily, last month I managed to make a trip on one of my free days, to hunt for one of my dream queen to catch. A queen of this red Chromatogastas, with black gasters. I first spotted them last year, and I've tried really hard to make a return to the location, to hopefully catch a queen around. I'm not sure how their queen looks, but I caught two different species of Chromatogasta on my trip. It's my first time to catch this color of acrobat queen ants. They have a little bit of redness, so I hope we got it. 1 month update of them, later on this video. Anyway, welcome back, buddies. And for those new to the channel, you're also welcome to DColonyyt. On my trip, I also collected some materials, like this dried tree branches, to make the setup of my dream Chromatogasta ant colony. I started by just cutting right in the middle. On this one, as well. We'll be making the tunnels here of course. And glue the barks, so the ants won't be nesting under them. I'm gonna size a glass first, before carving. So we can avoid carving the screw spots on the wood. I sterilized the wood buddies, so don't worry about any harmful organism that might be living on them. It's my first time making an ant nest out of a softwood. I'm surprised how it is much more difficult than carving a hardwood. Cause most of the supposed to be wood carvings is like turning as wood threads. Anyway, we can now reinstall the glass, and carved it to match the shape of the nest. The next step is the most challenging part, attaching the hinges. Cause if we mess up the positioning, it might not get opened, or close again. Especially on the uneven corners of the branch. So what I did on the other one is, I only use a single hinge, then just use neodymium magnets to support it from their top, and it turns out pretty good. Next, I wired them together to fix their position, while I glue them to the base rocks using super glue. I just filled the gaps with cotton, then glue it as well to harden. Next thing we need to prepare is the enclosure. I made this acrylic outworld for the island formicarium that I'm planning. But since I've ran out of acrylic today, I decided to use it here on this project. It's a little low, but it's fine I guessed. Since most Chromatogasta were arboreal, and will not nest on the substrate. Hopefully we don't really catch a ground nesting acrobat ants, cause I love them being arboreal. On the other hand, ground nesters are pretty rare, so it's still great to have one of them. Just not on this setup. Anyway, the lid is secured with magnets, for a tighter cover. I'm using 2 layers of this aquarium dividers for the drainage. And covering the top, and all sides with a fiberglass screen, fixing them with cable ties. I tie it on the deeper part of the plastic, so we can still lay it flat on the enclosure. I'm placing clay pebbles around it to hide the plastic tray, and for more natural look. Anyway, you can use a typical stone pebbles buddies, I'm just using Hydraton cause it's more lightweight. We just need to level it to the plastic tray, and place another mesh on top of it. We have a limited space on the terrarium, but I'm still placing a thin layer of activated carbon, cause we need that filtration it offers. Next is, finally, the substrate. For the substrate ratio buddies, you can check it on the description. Anyway, we're setting the nest we made next. I checked if the placement is good for the lid, so in the future, no ants would escape by accidentally falling on the cover. Let's add more substrate. Next is, planting. Anyway, I took these cuttings on one of my overgrown terrarium. I'm covering the top of the substrate with pine bark for insulation, and for more natural forest look. Let's give them some water. Fun fact. I'm using rainwater to hydrate all planted tanks that I have. I also collected a bark from my other terrarium with dried moss. These guys will turn green once hydrated. I hope they will spread to some of the pine barks on the floor. Anyway, I also tried planting some baby nerve plants on the base of the nest. And of course, we're also introducing springtails, which is a great addition on every naturalistic setup, especially in this case, we have a wood nest. Cause wood nest molds easily in a humid environment, so we need a steady population of the springs here, in order to keep the terrarium healthy. What do you think of our new setup, buddies? And what should we name it? Feel free to comment down below. And now, time for a quick update on the queens. After a month, the first queen had no progress, still on egg stage. So I gave her a honey to boost her up. I'll check her again after a month. While the second queen just welcomed her nanitics, even though they're not my dream species of acrobat ants. I'm still so happy to confirm that I have never kept a colony of this specific Chromatogaster species before. They still might be the one moving to our newly built terrarium, or my other catches last June. Or the other Chromatogaster queen, in case it ended with a positive progress. Or if we catch my dream queen later, or this upcoming month. Still undecided, but I'm sure this terrarium will not be vacant for a long time. I just hope you have learned something from this video, guys. Be a genie for the first time, by granting my wish and tapping the like and share button, that would help a lot. This is DColonyyt, saying goodbye. For now. But hoping to see you on my next videos.